Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all the sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Well, it took a few years, but we finally have a date for Star Wars' return to the theater. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Star Wars is coming back to theaters for the first time since it came back to theaters on May the 4th last time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's not a new one.
No.
It's not a new one. We don't do that anymore.
Exactly.
Oh, man. You know what? That's funny. You know how cynical that is. Like, how long of a run was it without new Star Wars coming out? And now we're like, yeah, they've just given up.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how it feels, though, man.
Well, you don't pump out like 5 movies and then just quit and be like, you keep saying you're going to bring out another one.
Right.
And not have people be cynical about it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how many times do we have to, get excited and then, you just don't get excited anymore when they say, hey.
I think this year was the year the last round of announcements said it was supposed to all start, right? Like 24?
Yeah, I think.
Or was it 25?
Might be 25, but I mean,
either way, not on schedule.
We pay attention to like production and stuff, and they're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, but hey, it's coming everywhere, right? For May the 4th, right?
Right.
And what looks like theaters pretty much everywhere, The Phantom Menace will be back in theaters.
Yes. This will be celebrating the 25th anniversary.
Oh, it's been 25 years.
Feeling old yet, Joe?
Oh, yeah. I already did when I was at Celebration for the 20th.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, damn, it's been 5 years since that Celebration?
Exactly.
Holy crap. I can't believe that. But yeah, that makes sense. That was Celebration 2019.
Right.
In Chicago. Yeah, I cannot believe that's been 5 years already. I got the hat right here. 20th anniversary, Star Wars The Phantom Menace.
Excellent.
So that's going to be a classic real soon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this will be a good opportunity to see Star Wars in the theaters again. Probably not the ultimate, but excellent lightsaber battle in it, and stuff. It's pod racing, all that.
I was gonna say the Phantom Menace plays really well in theaters. It really does. Between the pod racing, your obviously your lightsaber battle there, this space scene with Anakin.
Yep.
Like the underwater sequence.
Right.
All plays really, really well in theaters. It's really a fantastic film in theaters.
Absolutely.
Hell, I remember actually that was probably the last time I was in theaters to see a classic Star Wars film. Was the Phantom Menace 3D.
Right.
Still waiting on 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Actually, my last opportunity to see that, I think, was at Celebration Chicago, but it didn't line up with my schedule.
Aha.
I really wanted to go see them because they had the other 2.
Right.
And I remember reading that it was on the schedule, and I'm like, why isn't this coming to theaters?
Yeah, I don't understand that because it would be fun. Yeah.
Well, I was there for episode 1.
Yep, me
and
too.
yeah, that theater was packed.
Yes. Yes, it was.
So run them.
Yep.
You may have a lull for 2. You may,
Right.
because that is like everybody's Achilles heel, right?
Yeah,
2
yep.
was just, and it's like, wow, we get to see episode 2 in 3D. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it.
Geonosis will be cool.
That's what I was just about to tell you to think about. Yes, Geonosis. That would be awesome in 3D.
But I mean, we would all be looking forward to that opening sequence of episode 3
Oh God.
in
yeah.
3D.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes.
I mean, you need to put the work in to make that an IMAX sequence, like,
Yeah. True.
because man, that would kick ass in IMAX. That kicked ass just on the screen.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, that scene on the big screen is something else.
Totally.
So,
I do want to mention that everyone who goes to see this movie in theaters will be treated to an extended preview of The Acolyte. So there's that too.
oh well, shit. Let me order my tickets right now.
Right?
Just kidding. I'll pick them up at the theater that
Hey,
day.
at least, that's funny. At least you're not going to see the trailer for episode 1 and watch some crappy movie. Just, because I did that.
Wait, we're not all going to see Meet Joe Black again?
No. No, we're not.
Okay. Where's your sense of adventure, Doug?
Oh, stop it. Already been down that road.
I mean, you know what though? That's funny because I still do that in a way.
Yeah?
I always tend to make it to the theaters and go see a movie if I know there's going to be a Star Wars trailer,
Oh, sure.
even if I've seen it online,
Yeah, yeah.
because Star Wars just hits different in the theaters, and the trailers are no exception to that.
You know, it's funny that you say that because, yeah, I don't know that I've ever made the conscious decision since Meet Joe Black, but we will, like, when we know Star Wars is coming out, we will start going to the theater more often. And, we'll see other movies and stuff, but it's funny because Star Wars drives our theater going habits. It's kind of weird how that works.
Yeah, I mean it's, and I know I do it somewhat consciously
Right.
because, and I shouldn't say I do it really consciously because I mean I did when Episode 7 and when Rogue One was coming out.
Right.
I did consciously go to the theaters after the trailers were released, seeing movies that I knew that would be in front of.
Right.
So that was a conscious decision because I wanted to see it on a big screen.
Of course.
I mean, fortunately, I got to see the trailer for The Last Jedi at Celebration on the big screen, so I didn't have to go spend my money to see that.
Right.
Although, I'll say this, the trailer for The Last Jedi looked fantastic.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I mean, if there were Star Wars trailers, I'd probably go to the theaters more.
Yeah. Not just to see Star Wars. That's the thing.
Right.
It's funny.
I definitely would be watching other crap that I only somewhat care about.
You would think that, man, Lucasfilm, Disney, you should be taking note of this, right? Actually get some Star Wars movies made. Because we'll go see other stuff just to see the trailer. It's like...
I mean, imagine this. Indiana Jones, a movie I'm going to see anyway.
Right.
Eventually.
Yep.
But if there's a Star Wars trailer circulating the theaters, I see Indiana Jones in the theater.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
For sure. Yeah. Even stuff like the Marvel movies, if there's something in front, a Star Wars trailer in front of that.
Let's not get carried away.
Hey, now. You know what I mean.
You know what finally got me to see all the Marvel movies? Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little behind still.
Oh, I mean, I'm behind again.
Yeah.
Because once I got to the end, I'm like, whew, I need a break.
Yeah, totally.
Like, because I hate to break it to y'all, those aren't that good. I watched the entire series of films leading up to Endgame, right? Or was Endgame the last one?
It's one of those, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one was last, because there was like 2 movies that had like really foreboding titles.
Right.
But either way, it was the big wrap up for the Avengers, right?
Wasn't one of them a war or something like that?
Infinity War.
Yeah.
And Endgame. Yeah, Infinity War was first.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I gotta say, y'all overhyped the crap out of that.
Yep.
I mean, I thought those would be like the ones that would highlight the whole thing. I got done. I'm like, man, the Ant-Man movies were pretty good.
Yep. I thought so too.
Like the Avengers movies were okay.
Right.
Doctor Strange was weird as hell.
I liked the Captain America's.
Yeah. Civil War was all right.
Right. Yeah.
It was all right. The other ones were good.
Yep.
But I mean, I had seen the other ones beforehand, so like The Winter Soldier, that's a fantastic movie.
Yes.
But yeah, wow. How the hell did we end up talking about this?
I'm not sure. Episode 1 in theaters. Yeah.
Episode 1 in theaters, May 4th. Check your local listings for details.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Looks like it's playing everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like everywhere. The theater by me, it looks like it starts May 3rd.
Right.
And runs to the 9th.
Yep. That's what it looks like. Pretty much everywhere, I think. Same by me.
So, yeah, that's definitely on my list.
Yeah.
I will go see episode 1 in theaters again. Hopefully they got a cool bucket.
I think they do, actually. Popcorn bucket?
Yep. Something I can have for a couple weeks and get rid of.
Yeah, get rid of. Nice.
I shouldn't say that. I still have like my first order buckets.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I have Force Awakens cups floating around here that the kids use still. Drink gobs of water out of.
Yeah, I could go for like a poster because I can at least like put that away.
Right.
Because I got these like poster sleeves and stuff. I could just put it in that, and it's in a small pile.
Right.
Doesn't take up as much room as like a popcorn bucket.
Right.
Like I don't need enough popcorn to like go, wow, I really want a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, but at the theater, that's where I'm going to eat some popcorn.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely get it at the theater.
Right.
And then, like I said, have it around, wash it and use it for a couple of weeks and go, this is dumb.
Right. I'll tell you what, if you're going to get rid of yours, give it to me. because I can always use a wastebasket.
There you go. Oh, it could be my new like paper wastebasket.
Right.
Basket.
Exactly. See.
There we go. Now you're thinking. Hell yeah. All right. What's this one? You got the Empire on the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Is that the Empire on the Empire State Building in the People's Republic of New York?
That's the building.
Okay, cool. This all makes sense.
Right. So if you didn't see it, there's videos, YouTube and all. They played a bunch of clips from Star Wars, projected onto or whatever. Somehow they did this right onto the building, the Empire State Building, and it's like a 5-minute sequence, and here, which okay, cool, I guess. And then they're talking here about like what it took to do that, so, let's see who.
Does this go into the operating deficit of Disney Plus?
Well, see, I'm getting there. Okay, so this is what a cat show or folly. Okay, something. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but he says the need to think about it differently is that there are many unique things that need to be taken into account to make sure that what gets put on this facade will actually translate correctly and will work correctly, visually and as part of the overall story. What may look good as a composition and a scene that plays out in a movie theater or on a regular TV screen may not necessarily directly translate in the same way. To work well, once projected onto the facade of a building, it's a very unique canvas. Right. So my thought was, why are we worrying about projecting it onto the side of a building and not working on new Star Wars movies in the theater? Sorry. That was, I mean, I know it's not this guy's fault, and he, it's like, I almost, don't get me wrong, I understand. You got to promote the brand and stuff still.
Promote what? You're not coming out with anything.
That's the thing, right? I mean, this is great. You put it on the side of the Empire State Building. It looks cool. But my God, for what reason? Yes, we don't have anything coming out. I mean, we're excited to go see an old movie, Am I wrong? I mean,
you're not wrong. And you know what? At this point, it's like, I shouldn't say it like this, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, it's just like the big old Disney swinging dick, like, hey, we own Star Wars.
Right.
Like, okay, cool.
No, you're right.
Make some.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, I mean, playing stuff from Star Wars movies and putting characters like Darth Vader and Kylo Ren and probably Tarkin and stuff like that up on there because, let's show the baddies on the Empire State Building.
Exactly.
What does that do to promote the Acolyte?
Yeah.
What does that do to promote the Mandalorian? Nothing.
I don't know. I mean, I am seeing a lot of feedback from people online about this. They're like, oh, hey, Star Wars is still here. Don't forget about us. It kind of comes across that way.
What do you mean Star Wars? It's not still here. You'd be better off. You'd be better off going radio silent. Everybody going, what the hell? Where's Star Wars? And then, bam, there's a new trailer for a new Star Wars movie.
Oh, you mean between 1983 and 1999? Like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
like George Lucas did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You're
I'm
right.
retired.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not making them. I'm not making them. Bam, making them.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, how much Star Wars promotion did he do in those years?
None.
I was gonna say, yeah. Did he go projecting anything on the sides of buildings or anything like that?
No. I mean, we had some
Oh.
Ewok TV shows and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that, which were really not very effective. But that aside, yeah,
I
There was
guess
nothing.
99 is not fair, right? Because like he did do the special editions.
okay, yes. So 97.
And how was promotion for that?
Um.
Probably the same trailer from 77. Just
Well, they did a thing where it's like it was like this. Now it's like this. Upgraded picture. New backgrounds and scenes and stuff. Yeah. It's added footage. That kind of stuff.
it's like, hey, look at the last explosion was just like a sparkler, and this one's got a ring.
No. Stuff like Jabba the Hutt's in episode 4 now. That kind of stuff. But it was worth going to see for that kind of stuff. That was all cutting edge at the time. So
You know what the worst part about that is? It's like Jabba the Hutt's in episode 4 now. He looks a lot better than he did in episode 6.
right, yeah,
But Han steps on his tail.
yep, exactly.
Well, the funny thing about that is, though, is that scene. We've seen the original shots from that scene
Right,
with Han talking to the original
yeah,
Jabba the Hutt, and he's just a regular dude.
yep,
So that was cool to be able to see that, along with, hey, look, we did all this CGI work for it.
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see the point in spending millions of dollars to project Star Wars on the side of the building
Exactly.
with no Star Wars coming out. I mean, what's that doing to promote the Bad Batch?
Yeah, really.
I mean, yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It almost feels like busy work. Like this is our technical team. They're kind of bored right now, so let's have them do this.
Yeah, how can we piss everyone off who has an apartment in downtown Manhattan?
Exactly. Oh, could you imagine just how expensive all the permits were they had to get for this?
Dude, there's no way this costs anything less than like I don't know, like $10 million.
Right? Exactly.
Like, someone's got to go. Why?
Yes. Oh, I think we're asking right now.
Yeah, but I mean, we're the wrong people to be asking that. Like,
True.
someone should be in the room going, okay, why are we doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we... Is Celebration coming to New York? No, it's in Japan.
Right.
Okay. Let's keep talking here.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's work this out. There's a movie coming out, right? Oh, no.
Nope.
TV show? No, I mean, yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with any of these characters.
Right.
Okay, let's keep coming up with ideas.
Exactly. It's
Is there merchandise associated with this? No. Well, shit.
exactly. Just think about it like this. It'll be really cool. Okay, I'm convinced. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Oh, yeah. Now that I'm looking further on in this article. Yeah. Orfali, led the effort on The Light Show, which took 4 months total to complete. 4 months total to complete. 5 minutes worth of already shot movie footage that they put on a building. Excellent. Sounds like a good
4
use of
months.
time. It's good use of time.
Dude, I could project it on the side of a garage in 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Yep.
Here, let me do it on the Empire State Building. I just got to back up. I need a brighter light.
Right.
4 months.
Yep.
No wonder they can't put a damn movie in the theaters. They're taking 4 months to put it on the side of a building.
I honestly believe this is like these people are part of like their technical crew, right? They're the visual effects people. They're the people that, make the movie magic happen. These aren't necessarily the story people, right? I think the story people is where they're dropping the ball, These guys are just looking for something to do.
Here's a thought. Is this a way to keep the creatives on board and not have them jump ship?
Probably.
Like,
I
hey,
think
we're not
maybe.
doing anything that's going to keep these people employed.
Right.
Like, I'm spitballing here because I don't see a purpose.
Exactly. I mean, these are people who need to be challenged technically, right? They need to keep that drive going, and
Right.
it's like I feel like this was busy work for them, honestly, because you just ran through all the reasons why they could do something like this, but there's nothing there for it, There's no new movies coming out. There's no, it's got nothing to do with The Acolyte, It's got, what are we doing here?
All right, I got a great idea for them. Now, this is going to cost a shit ton.
Okay.
And it's going to do nothing. So it's right up their alley. There's an eclipse coming up.
All right.
What if they could make that look like the Death Star coming across the sun?
Amazing. I thought you were going to say that you need to project the movies on the moon. So you're watching Star Wars as it crosses the country. That'd be amazing. Or the Death Star would be better, yeah.
Yeah, the Death Star would have been good. Because then at least, they're sticking to their guns and it's not relevant to anything they're doing right now.
Right. And everyone can look at it and say, that's no moon. Yeah.
Exactly.
But it is the moon. But,
That's exactly what I would say, though.
Exactly.
Be sitting there going, it's a space station.
Space station. I love this idea, Joe. You should have been in that room. It's like, no. Empire State Building. You're thinking too small.
Yeah, this is small potatoes, people.
Exactly.
This is freaking Star Wars we're talking about here.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't project on a building.
This is about space, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to launch a satellite with a projector on it. Oh, that would be amazing.
Get the right people on the phone. Where's Elon?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Elon, you want to do something
this is
cool?
a SpaceX job right here, man, if I've ever heard it.
Yep. You want to do something cool, Elon? We've got the idea.
So, yep. See? Thinking too small.
I like it, Joe.
Just a wasted opportunity.
Right.
Yeah, I went from the $10 million that one cost to the $500 million plus, or
Oh.
$1 billion plus.
Kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah, what am I talking about? What would it cost to put a rocket up, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that would cost, but my God. That would be some promotion, though. That's for sure.
That's promotion. That's promotion. No one will ever forget that Star Wars is a thing for the rest of their lives.
Right.
And they gotta be ready to do one better in like 2090 or whatever it is when the
Right,
next
when
one
it comes back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so for 2090 it needs to actually be a Death Star.
Right. With the giant laser. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if you put a green light in the center of it, it might be able to explain all the shit going on in the world.
Right.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, speaking of Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
there's another one of them on again, off again situations going on.
Oh.
So this is from Variety. So this is it's a pretty reputable source, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now they did tell us this movie was on to begin with. So,
Right.
but apparently Patty Jenkins is back to saying she is now back doing the Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie.
Okay.
This is because Wonder Woman 3 is falling apart after the takeover there with James Gunn, right?
Oh, okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
she says, I now owe Lucasfilm a draft.
Gotcha. Now that my other thing that I was like so involved with is crumbling, I guess I'll come over and do this. Yeah, got it.
Well, I mean, okay, now let's circle back a little bit though. This is the one that always made sense to us, right? That it kind of fell apart because
Yeah, yeah.
Wonder Woman was so successful, right? Like,
True.
so it's like, okay, this is what really launched Patty Jenkins into, the upper echelon of writers, directors, all that stuff, right?
Right.
So it would make sense that she wouldn't just abandon that. This is not like, Ryan Johnson, like, able to launch Knives Out because he did Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then saying, nope, I got to do more Knives Out before I do Star Wars again. Okay. But no, this one always kind of made sense. This is the one that was like, okay, you can see why this one's being delayed. Not necessarily canceled, but delayed.
Right.
So, and you also see here that it truly was because of Wonder Woman 3, because now it's back on the docket. Not officially from Star Wars yet, but I doubt Patty Jenkins is blowing smoke here.
Right.
I'm sure this is back
Yeah, yeah.
in motion. Probably just not going to put it on a schedule right now because they already pulled it once.
Because what was the other? It was Cleopatra, right? That was the other thing that was going on.
Yes. She's off of that too.
Yeah. Their schedule's like wide open now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what that means? No Wonder Woman, no Cleopatra. You got no excuses for screwing this up.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Devote all your time to it. Yes.
I mean, but this is good news because of all the Star Wars projects that were announced, this is the one that caught me the most.
Sure.
Because, one, they're not trying to kid us on what they're doing with it. They're calling it Rogue Squadron, but they're saying yes, it's Rogue Squadron later. You know, it doesn't. The squadron doesn't disappear because the old characters are gone.
Exactly.
It's still Rogue Squadron, but it's a new group.
Right.
Okay.
I would still like to see a Wedge cameo. Okay, but
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean, he needs to be, he needs to be Maverick over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Teaching him
Yes.
at Top Gun.
Yes. That's exactly what I'd like to see. And really with these other franchises like falling to the wayside, make it a series, right? I mean, if you have enough story for it, I'm sure it would be popular enough to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if the story's good, we'll show up.
Not only that, but it's one that you can just cram full of interesting characters.
Absolutely. Oh, God, yeah.
Because you're going to build a whole squadron.
Yep.
So you can just cram this full of like interesting characters. You can create all different types of characters to your heart's content.
Yep.
And this is going to just fit so well.
Yeah, totally.
This really has the best potential of everything they've announced so far. Well, The Mandalorian and Grogu, it's got potential.
It's got potential for sure.
But like all the other stuff, it's all untitled.
Yeah.
It's just called like the Taika Waititi film,
Right.
the Rian Johnson films.
Right.
This one actually has some substance to it. You had a little teaser.
Yeah.
Like it was the most interesting.
The Benioff and Weiss film, where they just recently said, yeah, no, we're not doing that at all, ever. But I get what you're saying.
That's the Benioff and Weiss. Is that the Game of Thrones guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, someone just asked them recently, and they're like, yeah, no. There's not enough freedom in Star Wars for us to do stories we want to do. Okay, whatever that means.
Huh.
Yeah. But
there's not enough freedom. Like,
basically, like, there's too much established story, I think is what they were referring
what
to.
the hell they did Game of Thrones? This is an established story. There's books.
Right. Which they followed until they got to the,
And how'd that work out for them?
well, the last season sucks. So,
Yeah. So, if you ask me, the first season sucks. I can't get through it. Like, I tried again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
I'm good with these guys not being in Star Wars because I don't like it.
Right on. That's probably all for the best then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, we go through all the shows that I like, and everybody's like, how do you not like Game of Thrones? I was like, I don't know. These other shows have story. That one just was, like, dumb.
Right.
And they're like, oh, you got to get through this. And I get through that. And I'm like, I'm still not there.
Nice. What I would like to see in a Rogue Squadron movie is some collaboration with Filoni, because he has an affinity for fighter pilots, much in the same way as Patty Jenkins. So I think they could actually collaborate on some stuff that would be really helpful to the story. You know what I mean?
Not only that, but Dave's affinity for the EU and the old stories and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yep.
There would be plenty of little nods and things like that make it
Yes.
really great.
Yep.
Like, not saying you have to tell the Rogue Squadron story. We don't need that.
No. No, but it could be small stuff that he could add that would just add color to the story.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like there's this like misconception, right, that like Star Wars fans are like clamoring for just the EU, right?
Right.
And that's absolutely not true.
Exactly.
Because when you really sit down and look at the EU under a microscope, there were a lot of things that could be fixed.
Yes. That's for sure.
A lot of things,
Yes.
right? But there were a lot of things that were really good.
Yep.
And I think the main point is to at least pull some inspiration from the things that were good.
Right.
Don't copy it verbatim. You don't have to do that.
Right.
You know, books to movies, it never happens anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, pulling in like a Dave Filoni for, at least some sort of like assistant producer or something like that. Like something small where he's just like a consultant, right?
Yep.
You know, you don't need Dave to come in and like take over the project. That's not what we're asking for.
No. Nothing like that. In fact, just,
doesn't even need a job kind of role in it, right? Just like what happened with Rise of Skywalker, right? Like,
Yep.
Special thanks to Dave Filoni.
Yep, exactly. Sit in on a couple meetings
Yeah.
and say, here's a couple things you could do. That type of, sprinkling the seasoning on this thing might make the difference,
Yeah, it's weird because you got this guy on payroll already who just loves talking Star Wars, so just use it.
Exactly. I don't understand why this is so hard. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure you don't even have to pay him more.
Right. Oh, that is too funny.
I mean, hell, even if you did, you're fine projecting Star Wars on the side of buildings
Yeah. Right.
for literally no reason whatsoever.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure no one consulted Dave on that.
That still cracks me up.
Yeah, I know.
Like, where do you write that into the budget? Sorry to go back to it, but where do you write that in the budget? Advertising? For what?
I know.
All right, but yeah,
Yeah.
dead horse.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is fun to see. Hopefully it stays on target this time.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Bad Batch?
Sure.
All right, so we're talking season 3, episode 9, The Harbinger.
Yeah. They wasted no time with this one, did they?
What do you mean?
Well, we got to see what we knew was coming right at the beginning of the show.
Right. Yeah, I still don't understand why. Like, after seeing this episode 2, there was no reason to put this in the trailer.
Right.
You spoiled a good thing here.
I think so too.
Really, like I said, spoiled a good thing. You could have left this out of the trailer, and I would have been even more happy
Right.
because it would have been just a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, exactly. We we would have been left probably more in shock than when we saw the trailer, with the whole, resurrection thing. But
Well, I guess maybe they did it just so we kind of like rationalized it in our own heads before we got there. Like,
maybe.
wait, how the hell is she still alive?
Maybe.
And we don't get hung up on that.
Exactly. Because you know what? That's probably the case, because there were a few little nuggets in this that were really cool, I thought. I mean, you have, we just come out and say it. It's Ventress, right?
Right.
But Ventress putting Omega through the so-called tests, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very reminiscent of how Jedi would do things, right? And when you think of Asajj's story arc, that's really not the way things probably would have gone for her. You know what I mean?
No. But keep in mind, she started with a Jedi Master.
Okay. Sure.
So in her youth. You remember that?
No, but I'm listening.
Yeah, I mean, so she was never a Jedi Padawan, if I'm recalling correctly. But she was being raised by a Jedi Master.
Okay.
And I could be recalling wrong, but I think this was one of those shorts or something like that, like the Tales of the Jedi kind of thing, or something like that.
Okay.
One of those thingies. Might have even been at Visions. I don't know.
Okay.
But I remember some short, like it showed like how she was brought up, and then how she ended up with Dooku, and
Okay.
I remember something.
I remember the how she got with Dooku from
From the Clone
the
Wars.
Clone Wars. Yeah.
But there was like an accelerated something I watched. I swear,
Okay.
either that or I'm remembering some other character and crossing it up with Ventress, but I'm pretty sure I'm remembering right.
Okay.
But either way, she was involved with the Force much longer than, we see fleshed out.
Oh yeah. I mean, she would have had to have been. Yeah. For sure. Like, what I thought was cool about it though is, you have Ventress, who's done some horrible things, right? She's got a very sordid past. And she still hasn't, she realizes that wasn't the way, right? But she still has that edge to her. It's yet she implies that she could, might, whatever, take Omega to train her. She doesn't really tell her as much, but Hunter and Wrecker, it's there's little seeds being planted there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just interesting. I don't know where we're going with this yet, but it's there are some things that seem interesting. She basically is telling her, you ain't got what it takes yet. Kind of telling the clones, she might.
Right. I'm trying to look in the like appearances here for like what I'm talking about. I will say this, like one of the scenes here that kind of cracked me up the most is, she sends Omega off to get this flower.
Yeah.
And when Omega comes back, she's got Hunter beneath a lightsaber and Wrecker just up choking and
Right.
Crosshair's unconscious over here.
Yep.
And Omega, this is like the calmest I think we've ever seen Omega with anything.
Right.
Because she's like, what'd I miss?
Yeah.
like,
Stop. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did like it too. Just this little conflict, you know. In some ways, both the clones, and I think Ventress actually has a little bit more of a understanding, right? Because she makes the comment, right? We were all pawns in a war, and we all lost. You know, that was a great line, and I just, you know, it's an acknowledgement of war. You know, so many people who have been to war say there are no winners, right? And it's just holds true, and it's something that you could take away from, you know, this show, this arguably kid show that, you know, has a little weight to it, you know, some meaning. And I thought that was really, really well crafted there.
It was one of those lines that's kind of been the message all along the way in the Bad Batch here.
Uh-huh.
But it had a whole different weight to it coming from Ventress.
Yes.
And that showed an absolute purpose to bringing a character like this back.
Yep.
Ventress always had a really good way of conveying stuff, though. Like, this is a character that really did well in these kinds of situations.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I was so excited to see Ventress coming back. Like, I was like, you know what? I don't even care how they have to explain it.
Right.
This is a character that I want to see back. It's a good character.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just a whole lot of strength to that character. Such good usage.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many other characters that would have fit this whole situation better than Ventress.
True. You know, you know, you're right, because this whole, we have this whole M count story arc going on. This, you know, they're trying to figure out what the M count is and what the Empire's using it for and why they want Omega for it and all that. And you almost need, you know, I don't want to say a Jedi, but at least a Force sensitive person with knowledge that understands all of that to convey that to the Bad Batch. And you know, who would that be? You know, what are your choices at this point? And it's like, they're not many, you know. So Ventress kind of fits the bill perfectly, you know. There's some people who are going to be like, you know, why Ventress? She's supposed to be dead and this and that and, you know, all that. But really, for the story, she fits the bill pretty darn good.
Right. And it's a character that was used.
Yes.
Right? She was used to serve the purpose of the very people.
Yes.
Who are trying to use Omega to serve another purpose.
Right.
And
the audience knows that, right? And the audience knows what she has been through and that she at this point would have no love for the Empire. You know, she makes that clear too. You know. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, she was a tool of the guy that was being used as a tool for the guy doing all this stuff right now.
Yep.
So, yeah. And, yeah, I ended up over at Wikipedia.
Yep.
And, yeah, she was taken in by Kai Narek.
Okay.
So a Jedi Knight who had been stranded where she was in trouble, right?
Okay.
And he took her into his care and made her his Jedi Padawan, unknown to her at the time. You know, goes on to say he was the one who killed so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he trained her in the ways of the Jedi Order.
Okay. So that would have been more common to her than I realized, but it was just cool to see that sort of progression with somebody who's like new to the Force again, going down. You know, like the whole. She takes her out on the water, right? Just reach out, you know, reach out with your feelings, and you know, and Omega's trying to understand it, and just like, you know, I bet you can't even do it, right? It's almost, you know, I'm not comparing Omega to Luke. Don't even think I'm going there, right? But it's with everybody,
Well,
who's starting to learn in those situations. They need to see it.
this. I was actually going to go there anyway.
Okay.
I was going to compare this whole interaction to Yoda and Luke.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the balancing on the stone.
Yep.
You know, to the, you know, like all these things that Ventress is having Omega do is very reminiscent of what Yoda was having Luke do.
Sure.
And then the even down to the proving it, right? Like, look, I can do this.
Exactly. Yep. That's impossible. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
All that. Yes. And it's not the same, but it rhymes, right? That's the thing that I like about it. It's just it's all the same steps, but just done slightly different in a different way. And
she's like, go out there, do the Ezra. Right? Like,
yeah. Right. Yes. Talk to the animals.
Yeah. That was the most notable, like, communing with nature.
Right.
I mean, it showed up other times in, you know, the EU and even in the new canon.
Yep.
In the Old Republic era. Or the High Republic.
Okay. Yep.
They haven't done Old Republic yet.
Right.
Well, they've done Old Republic, but not the Old Republic. We didn't know there were. We thought the Old Republic was just a thing from like here to here.
Right.
Now there's the High Republic in the middle there, so it's the Old Republic, then the High Republic, then the Old Republic. So.
Right. So, okay. Here's my question for you. Do you think we see Ventress again on this show?
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I really hope so. I mean, these are. It's weird saying it, right? This is one of the two characters from the Clone Wars where you're really like, okay, I hope I see more.
Right.
This, you know, Ahsoka and Ventress were like the two.
Yep.
So, yeah, I really hope we see more Ventress. The only disappointing thing is, you know, one of the things that was so great with Ventress during the Clone Wars was her interactions with Obi-Wan.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, that was almost like my favorite hero villain duo, right?
Sure. But I think, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to step on some thin ice here, I think, but how Ahsoka came across so stoic and things like that in the show, and some people were like, including myself, were like, it just doesn't make quite the sense, you know? I think it makes more sense for Ventress. Any interaction she's going to have is going to be, because everything she's gone through since, you even have to figure in the Quinlan Voss stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she has more reason to be that way, in my opinion. Not to mention all the tapping into the dark side she did in the first place. So, you know, it's...
Right. The stuff I loved about the Quinlan Voss stuff is like, man, that guy pisses everyone off.
Right.
Obi-Wan and Ventress.
Yep.
Like, you got the opposite of Obi-Wan and Ventress, right? Like, and he's making her mad, too.
Yep, exactly.
All this does is, though, it makes me want to revisit that book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And actually, you know what? With the context of her being alive right now at this point, I think I got to revisit that book anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. That might be a thing here.
And, I mean, it's perfect excuse to go back and read that book again.
Yep.
Because it was really good.
It was a good book.
I mean, this is one of those books when they did the new canon, they came out the gate.
Right.
Strong. Real strong. So, yeah. So, what do you make of this whole, after her interaction saying, no, there's no M count here thing, no M count thing here, and then they just look at her and say, you're lying?
I think that they've just been around long enough to kind of recognize when someone's trying to hide something.
So, my question is this. Omega did really poorly in all this stuff.
Sure.
But do you think Ventress just felt the effort?
Yes. I think, being as force sensitive as she is, she knew she's going to come up with some, kind of arbitrary tests, to see. She's probably judging.
Can she feel the extension of Omega's consciousness, even if she's not successful?
Right. Just how far along is she in understanding what she has here?
Okay. So she did notice some force ability. It just wasn't strong enough to materialize into anything.
Right. That's what she's saying. She needs training. I could take her and train her, but she didn't want to say that in front of Omega, but.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I almost wonder if that conversation was a little foreshadowing, honestly. Because.
Well, I mean, okay, hold on.
What?
You wonder if it's a little foreshadowing. Have you seen the title of the next episode?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because the title of the next episode is Identity Crisis. So.
Okay.
Just saying, Omega might have some issues with all this.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Oh, she might start to try and employ some of the stuff that she was being tested on from Ventress and realize there's a glimmer of something there, huh? I could see that. But the whole notion of Ventress says, in order for her to learn this, you guys can't be around. You can't be in the picture. That's where the whole, they're going to have to weigh all this out. And I think.
And I'll say this, though. It's always been said with, like, the Jedi, right? Like, attachment.
Right.
You got to separate yourself from attachment.
Yes.
Everything we've seen so far, it seems like in the early goings, as a Sith, you do too. You can't have any of these distractions in any aspect of the Force. What Sith trainee, and let's just say the expanded universe and new canon, was able to start with any group of quote-unquote loved ones around them?
Well, I mean, there's always the
I think the difference is the Jedi just makes them leave them. The Sith makes them kill them.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going to go with this, right? Palpatine and the parents and all that. And then, but then it's their passions, right? Anakin for Padme, they play on that, get him swayed to the dark side. It's so. Yeah, I mean, the whole man. When you think about it hard enough, right?
Yeah,
that's all. No matter what, Palpatine would have made sure that Anakin killed Padme one way or the other. You know, that's
Oh yeah. In some manner.
yes,
And like I said, all the attachment has to be severed for both sides.
yeah,
Just the method of detachment is different.
exactly.
One is a detachment completely, like forget about them.
Yep,
They can't even be in your mind.
right.
The other one is destroy them and always think about them.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
Literally complete opposites.
yeah, that's crazy.
So, yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I really hope. Like, I'm looking at these titles and I don't see anything that would like foreshadow a return of Ventress. I am wondering what the cavalry has arrived means.
Ooh, maybe the return of Ventress.
Okay, I guess it could be.
Yeah,
Ventress and Ahsoka side by side.
I don't know about that, but
It could happen.
it could happen. Could happen. Could be Rex too. You never know. So
Probably Rex. But yeah. Well, if you have anything to add, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. This is the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media, at The Wars and More on X, facebook.com/thewarsandmore. Find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
no, I think we've covered it.
All right. We'll talk next week.